There we go. Well, I hope so. Good luck. Bam. Oh, right. We're gonna interrogate fucking Kanaya? Is that his name? Yeah, I don't think Kanaya knows we're even here. I gotta do this. I have to make him talk. We have nothing left to lose. We can't fail any worse. I can't lose anything else. I glanced over to Kurada, and he nodded in silence. And I even bowed to Sekimoto to convey my determination. He nodded back. I approached Kanaya's cell. He suddenly stopped growling and stared right at me. Oh, he's so weird. They haven't even cleaned him up. Kurada and I went into the cell. Kanaya had both his arms tightly restrained. There was a big purple bruise on his forehead. He must have been banging his head against the metal door. He really looks like a monster, but tragic somehow. I want to talk to you, Kanaya. He stared at me with a blank expression on his face. I wasn't sure if he even understood me. Haruka! Haruka's told me everything. Grrr. This isn't going to be easy, but at least he said something for a change. It's a start. I heard that you've been making advances at her in the bar downtown. Grrr. You really... Oh, I lost the signal. Okay, it's back. Maybe the HDMI is unstable. You really like her, don't you? Is this the reason you gave her nice things and did everything she wanted? Haruka! She said that you had offered her a lot of money. Is that true? Bye. Until morning. Yes, so you wanted to buy her for a day, but you couldn't. How did that make you feel? Haruka! Kanaya wept. Sniveling tears and saliva ran down his face. It must have been the last piece of humanity he had left in him. It's almost birthday time. It kinda already is! There was no time to pity him, because it's past midnight here. There was something, an obstacle between you and her, right? It was Tamura. Ah! Did you kill him? Ah! Were you the one who invented that method of murder? Or did you learn about it from somewhere? Haruka! Did you kill Watari too? And the entire Takenaka family? Ah! Stop your yelling and answer me! Oh, he's so creepy. He stopped his yelling after that, but he said nothing. All he did was snivel. Ugh. I get right up to Kanaya's face and his foul breath hits me directly. I'm asking you if you even realize how many people died because of your arrogance. I'm different from those First Division guys. I will get your testimony if it's the last thing I do. This will be all over once you confess to the murder of Tamura. Aw, Manny! Happy birthday. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Thank you. Don't be mad. I did everything for you. Kanaya? He's coming back to his senses, but he thinks I'm Minase. This might be a big opportunity. Everything? Well, it wasn't good enough. But, you see, I really like you. I go along with his words to keep the conversation going. He really thinks the person in front of him is Minase Haruka, so I... Here it comes. What do I do? Tell me how much you like me? I feel like that should have a me. Tell me how much you like me. Tell me how much you like me. See? I would do anything for you. You're lying, right? You just do as you please and take nothing seriously. I'm serious. He pleaded with me as if his life was on the line. I could see his feelings for Haruka were genuine. I better keep this act going. Yeah! I'm sorry, but I never liked that you came to see me. Do you know that what my nickname was at the bar? They called me a garbage disposal unit. So harsh. I'm so sorry. Just tell me who said it. I will punish them. Doesn't concern you anymore. Hope that's a good one. Punish? It doesn't concern you anymore anyway, because we won't see each other anymore. Oh please, Haruka, I'm doing my best, please! Whatever. Anyway, I have something to ask you. Why did you... I really am trying. I'm not really getting to the heart of the matter, but I don't know what I should do to get any more information out of him. What should I do? Oh no! Anyway, comma. This will be our last conversation. I'm so glad that I can be freed from your grasp. Farewell. Oh, Hale! Thank you so much for the sub! Resub! Thank you! I'm on a diet! Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me all this? It's none of my concern. I'm losing weight, so just don't say that you'll leave me. But you haven't changed at all. You're still fat. I'm working on it. I didn't care if he lost weight. What I wanted to hear from him was something completely different. Need to manipulate him more efficiently. Okay. It's too late. If you want to change, do as you please, but don't involve me in your business. I want to be popular. I should keep it real, right? You're ashamed of being with me, aren't you? Hey, Lucas. You're scum. Why are you asking about every little detail? Don't you understand what's going on, you piece of scum? You don't have to be so mean. He's becoming more depressed as I talk down to him. He's emotionally unstable. Is this the right approach to get him to answer my questions? I'm not so confident. Oh shit. Ah, fuck. You don't want me to hate you, right? Then tell me, did you kill Tamara? I'll do my best. Do you want me? Listen to me carefully. Do you want me? Then answer my question. Ugh. Yes, I want you, Haruka. Ugh, so gross. It's not about me. Did you kill Tamura? Yes, I like you, Haruka. Is he avoiding answering me on purpose? I asked him the question. Maybe he's trying to tell me his motive. I asked him again just to make sure. Ugh. I will ask you again. Did you kill Tamura? I promise I'll do anything you want. Please tell me that I'm doing a good job, Haruka. Self-centered? This is so hard. You're so self-centered. Alright, it's over. I've had about enough of you. Don't say that, Haruka. I really... Don't you get it? I don't have time for this. Did you kill Tamura or not? I really like you. Desperate plea. Unfortunately, all I got from this was Kaneya's sincere affection towards Haruka. I felt so discouraged. I've tried almost everything in the book, but it all seemed to be for nothing. What should I do now? Ah, fuck. I'll be going now. So glad I never have to see you again. Wait for me, Haruka. I will meet you at the bar. I'm sorry I didn't come to the bar very much to see you this month. Are you insane? You have no idea what kind of situation you're in, do you? I'm losing weight. When times are tough, you have to make sacrifices, you know? Please understand my pain. That one was really hard. The Japanese was so weird. I asked several Japanese people and none of them had any clue. Like, Japanese people, they didn't know what this was about. He was like, the literal translation was something like, when life is hard, you just have to drink blood. It's like, what? It kind of makes sense because he did, but it's so out of context here. Because he doesn't really seem to remember what he's done, so... Never going to see you ever again. So I just made it, you have to make sacrifices, just so that it fit better. Kuroda pointed at his watch. Time's up. I sighed because I didn't get the right information out of him. Whew. I was getting anxious. I haven't gotten a confession yet. Time for the interrogation was almost up. What should I say to make him talk about Tamura? What's wrong? You look flustered. But still, you're so adorable. I'm gonna give you another gift next time I see you. I will buy you for a day the next time. Ha ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha. I couldn't help but feel a little irritated with his cheerfulness. Oh, we did it! I survived. Sheesh. You have to end this now, Gigi. That's enough. It's over. You did a good job. Please, I need a little bit more time. It won't be much longer. There's nothing left to be done. With Kaneya like this, he can't even tell who you are, and you're right in front of him. With the state he's in, nothing would be considered viable evidence. Ugh. Unfortunately, Kuroda was right. Even if he did admit his crimes, we couldn't charge him with it. Kuroda quickly reasons with me, but emotionally I'm not convinced yet. Even if Kanaya isn't able to think straight, it doesn't mean I'll stop trying to avenge Kazamori. Aren't you angry, Kuroda? Don't insult me like that. I just lost a good junior colleague. Of course I'm feeling hurt. But realistically speaking, I'm telling you there's nothing we can do about Kanaya now. It was a cold, hard fact. It stabbed me right in my heart. I lowered my head. I know how you feel, Gigi, but it's time to pull back for now. Let's leave the cell. Damn, I swore under my breath. But then? Did you do it? Huh? Answer me. Did you kill Tamara? Ah, gruel! Kanaya Hiromu started to bang his head against the cell again. He wasn't going to open up. Bye, framing! See you later! Hey, stop avoiding the question. Answer it like a man, you filthy pig. You're not authorized to talk to him, Sekimoto. How dare you speak like a human, trying to talk to a woman, you pig! You should know your place. Ooh. Stop it! I can't believe a pig like yourself could ever go to a fancy club like that and could even have a good time. Let me tell you something, you pig. The only thing that matters in that place is money. They will allow just about anyone in there if they have enough money. Maybe I should change that to if they have enough of it. Because there's money twice there. Stop it, please. We aren't going to get anything useful from it anymore. Your interrogation was a bit soft. That's why I'm trying to help even though it's a bit shameful. We're pressed for time, right? So I don't have time for you. My apologies. Was my interrogation really too soft? Minase Haruka. Haruka, was it? Is that correct, Kanaya? Haruka! That's right, her. I bet you are quite the nuisance to us, even a seedy girl like that Haruka. Oh! Must have been hard, constantly being stalked by a filthy animal like you. Do you remember what the face of the man you killed looked like? Were their faces full of fear? Do you really think it was because of your own strength? Think again. You couldn't be more wrong. All this was just a childish delusion. Don't be so conceited. They must have been so angry and resentful that they were going to die at the hands of a piece of shit pig like you. Now try looking over your shoulder. You can sense them, right? The spirits of your victims. Can you feel them breathing down your neck? One of them has an extremely strong presence, doesn't it? Powerful energy. I can feel it as well. Do you know who it is? Oh! It's Kazamori Hayato, the detective you killed when you were about to get arrested. He's standing right behind you. Sassy gap translation, I know. The Japanese was very, very harsh too. He's saying that he won't stop haunting you until you confess everything that you've done. He's saying that he'll make you confess everything and that he'll be waiting for you in the depths of hell. Ah! He doesn't like that. Don't blame me for everything! He just talked very clearly. Even though he seemed out of it, he suddenly seemed completely sane. I can only admire Sekimoto's skills. Are you trying to avoid the blame? If you're trying to weasel your way out of this, remember that Kazamori will be with you tonight. It wasn't all me. I only killed Tamara and my shitty family. I highly doubt that. What about Utari Kurumi or the Takanaka family? I didn't kill them. He did it, not me. Who is he? What are you talking about? Ooh, he is... Blind man, of course. Maybe I should change he is to it's. It's Blind man, of course. There it is, his name. The monster we're hunting, Blind man. Give me something to drink. I'm thirsty. Who's Blind man? Blind man? I'm not sure. You're lying. Only Takenaka knew any details on the real Blind man. I love this music. There must be something else that gave you Takenaka's information. That someone could be Blind man. He probably told you to keep quiet, but you won't be meeting him anymore, so it's safe to tell us. I can't tell you even if I knew. If I do, he'll stop giving me my meds. Are you talking about those diet pills you've been taking? You got those from Blind Man? Yeah. So thirsty. I'm trying my best here. What do you know about the medication he gave you? He's even crazier than me, although he's kind of an idiot every now and then. Tell us about the medication. Just like he said, he told me you'd be interested in those pills. He told me to do this if anyone ever asked about the diet medication. Kanaya Hiromu raised his hand. Then he makes his hand into fists and extends just his middle fingers. That was fun to translate. When I was like translating and then I realized halfway through what he was doing. I was like, haha. This is Blind Man's message. I won't stop. Give me your eyes. Kanaya shows us a defiant smile. Can't take it anymore. So thirsty. Ooh. Kanaya, Kurada, call an ambulance. He suddenly started chewing his tongue. Blood is flowing out of his mouth. He's drinking his own blood. With each gulp, his expression changes more to one of ecstasy. But as if that won't be enough to fill his stomach, he slowly gnaws on his tongue. Munch. Pant. I still have questions for him. Who is Blind Man? How does he know him? Why is he murdering people pretending to be Blind Man? What's his relationship with Takenaka and Kanaya? Only once he'd have told us all of that would he be allowed to perceive his punishment by law. At this rate, Kanaya won't have to take responsibility for any of this. I can't forgive him if he doesn't. He killed my partner. He has to pay. Kanaya, weakened by the blood loss, eventually starts gasping for air. You can stop him. Blind Man is watching you. Because he lost his tongue. Always. Always. I could only make out those two sentences. So good. Paramedics came rushing in and tried to perform first aid. But he had already lost too much blood and there was nothing else they could do for him. Stitch a tongue. Ugh. According to the autopsy report, his mental instability was caused by a drug addiction. Might be possible that Blind Man was the one providing him with illegal drugs. Might be too early to conclude that. This type of medication can be obtained easily. When we analyzed the drugs we found at Kanaya's house, we learned that they can be bought online. What kind of drug is it? It's being circulated from Southeast Asia to private users and traders. It's dietary medication. This drug isn't registered under the Narcotics and Psychotropics Control Law, but it should be considered illegal. In actuality, it's a cocktail of drugs. There are elements in there that closely resemble drugs for certain mental illnesses. They are certain to damage your body. Misuzu pulls out documents related to her findings. Major symptoms include a feeling of extreme hunger and hallucinations. Those are Kanaya's symptoms. There's more. Other symptoms include epidermal necrolysis, liver failure, etc. So this drug isn't to be messed around with. Menu. Database. Toxic epidermal necrolysis, if that's how you say it, or TEN, T-E-N, is a type of severe skin reaction where the whole body turns red and appears burned. If 30% or more of the skin becomes necrotic, it is determined as a full body illness. Under 10%, it is thought of as the Stevens-Johnson syndrome. When it's between 10 and 30%, it is treated as both diseases. 20 to 30% of patients die of this illness, and early treatment is advised. That was okay, I think. It's wrong to think that one can lose weight without exercising, and to rely on drugs like that is just crazy. Yeah, medical diet. No wonder this drug hasn't been approved here. The Department of Health and Human Services has even put out a warning against its dangerous side effects. But people still buy it even with the dangers. Maybe people are that desperate to lose weight. Wait, I think I've seen an ad before. What was the name again? Misuzu looks stupefied by the fact that Kuroda can't remember the name. The official name is Samadhi Medical Diet. Ah, yes, that's right. I've heard the drugs being distributed legally abroad. For a second I thought the bottle was the one talking. I've even heard that a famous foreign singer used these and lost weight. I don't know how successful it is abroad, but I wouldn't trust it with a name like that. The name? What's wrong with Samadhi Medical Diet? Do you know what Samadhi means? Kuroda and I shook our head at the same time. It wasn't an Asian or English name we've ever heard before. Yeah, that was also a translation thing, because in the Japanese version, of course, it only says it wasn't any Japanese we've heard before. So, but of course the translation is English, so how are you gonna like incorporate that? Because of course we're not speaking Japanese right now, so I just I changed it to Japanese and English. Because I think the original is like, it wasn't like any Japanese or other Asian language we've heard before or something. So I thought like that was too vague, so it should probably be localized a little bit. Sanskrit. Sanskrit is part of it was this one, right? Indo-European language family and is the origin point for many languages like Greek, Latin, Persian, and English. From the 5th century BC to the 4th century AD, a man named Panini is like the bread, from northwest India standardized the grammar and established ancient Sanskrit. Sanskrit came to Japan together with Buddhism and was called Bongo, meaning Sanskrit in Japanese. In Sanskrit, it means the complete language. Ah, that one quotation mark there missing. Fuck. I feel like I wouldn't forget that though. Maybe they just like copy pasted it or something. I'll have to check. It said Samadhi. That's right though. Like that with the H. Oh, and there it says DH. I think it's HD. Yeah, so I'll have to double check that. This might be a typo. In English, it means death. Why would you give a drug a name like that? It sounds kind of fishy, right? Indeed. Can I share with you guys what I'm thinking right now? It's Samadhi. Yeah, maybe. I did Google it, but I forgot which one it was. It was one and I changed it to the other. So I probably forgot to change one, or one slipped through. Kuroda gestured to tell me to go ahead. Please, speak your mind. Blind Man wanted to use and control Kanaya, so he gave him the drugs to turn him into a monster. You mean to use Kanada as a double? No, he said so himself. Blind Man had a message for us in case we'd come asking about the drugs. He's clearly onto us. And if that's the case, then all signs show that the real killer is planning to challenge us. Are you saying he wants us to find him? That's a scary thought, but I don't disagree with you. Do you have any idea what kind of person he is, Gigi? Criminal profiling isn't my specialty. I tried to recall everything that had happened and try to pick out Blind Man's traits from every small event so far. Wait, what happened? Profiling? Is that the one that popped up? Profiling is a way of collecting data on a suspect in an investigation to determine specific traits. Based on evidence left at a crime scene and other inspections, a profiler uses statistical experience, crime data, psychology, and knowledge about behavioral science to create an image of the suspect. That's okay, I think. Okay, traits from every small event so far. He's definitely a very intelligent person. He has several strategies worked out. At the same time, I get the sense that he's very arrogant. A common criminal would put effort into evading us. But this Blind Man's different. He sent us a message through Kanaya and is challenging us. He's trying to cause as much damage as he can before he tries to take us out one by one. Girls' generation, GG. Yeah. Extreme aggression and cool calculation. I don't know where we could catch him off guard. And he's watching us from somewhere with the best view. Sekimoto picked up where I left off. Blind man must be enjoying watching us stumble. He's thinking, come find me already. You're no better than blind men. Haha. In that case, I'll come for your eyes next, so give me your eyes. I don't like the sound of that. Me neither. Not gonna let him have his way. Kuroda passed on the confession we got from Kanaya to the 1st Investigation Division. People thought by catching Kanaya that the case would be over quickly, but Kanaya's confession changed everything, filling the station with the nervous uneasiness once again. We thought we'd get a new case assigned to us when the investigation took a sudden turn. Man, I seriously forgot how Sekimoto's face looks like, but I sure as hell know now how his face and nose look like now. Yeah. Really? Don't stare at me like that. I'm just as upset as you are. It's an order from up top. There's nothing we can do about this. Did this come from the 1st Division? Can't we just kind of gloss over it like we always do? They can be a little flexible if need be. A wrinkle formed in between Kuroda's eyebrows and he let out a small sigh. It was like my suggestion didn't even exist. It's from even higher up than them. Do you mean HQ? Or do you mean even higher up? I stood there trying to figure out how high this order came from. Is that okay? I just lost my partner Kazamori during this investigation. They must think that our positions are short-lived. Maybe they would reject that order if I told them I wanted to honor the death of my partner. Sorry, but it's even higher than that. Kuroda's face seemed grim as he said it. Higher than that? Who the hell are they then? The person that signed Sekimoto's secret transport order. He's a public prosecutor from the Tokyo branch office. The Tokyo office. When I heard that, I realized that things must be bad indeed. Even though the police force and the prosecutor's office are closely connected, they're still 2 separate organizations. They were the ones in charge of Sekimoto and decided to send him to us for the special investigation. But why now? We still have a lot of time left before the agreed date to send him back. They got word of Kanaya Hiromu's confession. Apparently they're pretty mad about it. They consider the murder investigation of Tamura for Prefecture S Village C now to be solved now, with the arrest of Kanaya. Kuroda droned on as if he was reading from an official police report. And the suspected killer committed suicide, of which the responsibility lies with Prefecture S's police force. Sekimoto Sojiro is no longer required for the investigation. Really? But they're just doing as they please while they don't even know what's really going on here. And with how the investigation was going, Kanaya might not have gotten a conviction due to the possible insanity plea. I know, I agree with you. I'm on your side. Calm down. But you know how it goes. They need someone to take the fall for this. You know it's just part of the game, right? Yes, but... La la la, I can't hear you! Can't believe this guy. How does acting like a child in a situation like this help? Gigi, let's go over it once more. What's our prime objective right now? To avenge Kazamori. You know that's not it. Our objective is to solve this case quickly. He is a child, yeah. And besides, the guys at HQ have decided that we don't need Sekimoto anymore. Sekimoto Sojiro will be sent back to the Tokyo detention house. This is a fight we can't win. I can't agree with this. He was the one to point us in the right direction during the investigation, and we haven't actually arrested the culprit yet. We needed Sekimoto, but we didn't have the power to keep him here. This whole situation was so frustrating. When are they planning on taking him? Tonight. He is too noticeable during the day, so we'll move him to the city in the darkness of the night. I know you're busy. I'm sorry about that, but please make the necessary preparations. Kuroda turned around and left the office. Silence descended upon the room. They'll notice in about 2 hours, yeah. I went to Sekimoto's cell to tell him the news. He was leaning against the wall, reading a book. I didn't know what to say at first. He raised his head and greeted me first. Oh, it's you. Did something happen? Did you find anything following the drug lead? First Division is currently looking into it. Again? They always keep taking things away from your investigation, don't they? Well, as usual. You look troubled. That must mean you're here with some bad news. What is it? Cue mouth graphic, yeah. You're very observant. Well, there is some bad news. I guess pretty bad news. Are you going to tell me? Stop wasting time. He probably has no clue it's got to do with his removal from the case. Pains me that I have to be the one to tell him about this lackadaisical decision. Whew! Go me, from higher up. Why are you making this situation so dramatic? We don't have all day. He's right, we're out of time. So I round up the courage I have and decide to tell him the harsh news. Space! I decided to make it quick. I stepped closer to him and bowed deeply. You. Bound to a criminal? You'll be in trouble if someone sees you. Mr. Sekimoto. I intentionally added the formal prefix to his name. You will be transported back to the Tokyo Detention Center tonight. Silence. He doesn't even show the slightest reaction to my words. Hey, Orchid! It's quite sudden. Have I become a burden? We uncovered so much in the Tamura case thanks to you. Now we're on our own. Get ready to leave. We'll come get you when it's time. This isn't what you want, is it? I can hear the bitterness in your words. Or should I say that it's just a lack of confidence? What's that supposed to mean? You ask yourself that question. It's true that with Kaneya's confession, the case is coming to a close. But Blindman is still out there. If we don't expose the whole thing, we'll be far from closing the case. They can't possibly try to turn all of the murders on Kaneya, can they? Of course not. We'll keep pursuing the true killer of Wataria and the Takenakas, and find out Blindman's true identity. We don't have much on him at this point. Are you confident you will be able to capture him? Don't underestimate me. I'm a powerful girl! But I don't see the same tenacity and determination you had before. Unfortunately, I can't sense any confidence coming from you at all. So harsh! That hurts, but he wasn't wrong. I think that we still need Sekimoto for this investigation, but there's nothing I can do about this situation right now. But you can't disobey direct orders because you're a public servant working in a government organization. Likewise, I'm not voicing my opinion about staying here either, although it's very unfortunate that I can't see this case through to the end. I will send a report to the prosecutors stating that you helped us tremendously. The aid you gave us allowed our investigation to take a huge step forward, so thank you. But make sure to write it in such a way that it doesn't hurt your career. We can't ignore the fact that I'm a killer. I was found guilty. They'd accuse you of Stockholm Syndrome. Can I click it? No, I can't. Yeah. Ja. Bom. Bom. Ma. It is possible for a person falling victim to a crime to sympathize with the culprit if they spend a significant amount of time with them in a particular place. This is called Stockholm Syndrome. The name came from a hostage situation. Period. It first happened in Stockholm in August 1973 with a bank robbery. In this case, the hostages ended up cooperating with the culprit, and even though they had chances to escape while he was asleep, they didn't. They kept watch for him and opposed the police. Even after the arrest, they tried to protect him by giving the police uncooperative testimonies. I didn't join the police to be a bureaucrat. It's better if you keep those brave words hidden. Thanks for everything. It was a pleasure working with you. When you get your hands on Blindman, let me know. I will. No. I bowed to him and headed out. I could feel his kind look on me as I left. From his kind attitude, he seemed very far removed from the evil crime he is supposed to have dirtied his hands with. Well, maybe I really did have Stockholm Syndrome. At this point, I couldn't tell. Ooh. Oh. And that night. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah, this is with the cops. Sekimoto Sojiro, put your hands against the wall. He did as the officer said and turned his back to us. Inmate is facing the wall. Confirmed. Releasing the lock. This is so static. This is actually how things go in Japan. Confirmed. Lock released. Opening door. I did most things as confirmed, but what they're actually doing in Japanese is they're just repeating each other. So it's like releasing lock, and then they do the thing. And then it's like they just say the same thing, but I just changed it to confirmed because otherwise I felt like it was too static and you would probably read it as like, what's going on? Why is it like the same text over and over, you know? So if the other cop just says confirmed, it's just more, it flows better, I guess. 2 officers were doing their job following every procedure from the manual. Kuroda and I watched from afar. Kuroda looked somewhat uneasy. Handcuffing Sekimoto Sojiro. Handcuffing! Here too, I just did the one word. Hey, Risas! Thank you so much for the 7 months! Just because I hate repeating words. Handcuffed. Confirmed. After they'd cuffed him, they brought him towards us. Good work. Sekimoto Sojiro has been under the care of Kuroda Kunio, Section Chief of Town C, Prefecture S. I bowed and grabbed Sekimoto. The policemen that were stationed to keep guard observed Sekimoto as he leaves the cell block. Everyone's being extra careful because we've never had a murderer here whose case is still ongoing. Plus, we're short-staffed at the moment. They were just there in case of an emergency. Let's go. I told him to start moving quietly so only he could hear it. Hey everyone! Hello! When we came up to the first floor, the bright white lights enveloped us all. The atmosphere on the first floor is completely different from usual. There were no civilians in sight because they had been banned from entry so we could move Sekimoto. Even the TVs were all turned off. No, they're not! The officers there stand up one by one to look at us moving Sekimoto. We're the center of attention. I thought it was very similar to something. That was the Pied. Is it Pied? Or, yeah, it must be Pied, right, in English? Piper of Hamelin. Menu. Database. It's filling up. There he is. This is a folk tale about what happened in the city of Hamelin, a city in Lower Saxony, West Germany. 1284, a man came along who proclaimed he was a rat catcher, who was asked to capture all the rats that were troubling the people in return for a reward. Reward. Those words are hard to me. The man lures the rats into the river with the sounds of his flute and drowns them. He did what was asked, but the people of Hamelin were unwilling to pay the reward. So the Pied, like pie, yeah, okay. So the Pied Piper used his flute to lure the children away from town. There were 130 children and they were never seen again. There's an epitaph in Hamelin today about the rat catcher tale, and it says the rat catcher was a wizard, or in Latin, a magus. A rat in Latin is a mus. Apparently. Ah, thank you, Martin. We should maybe save. Boonk. Yes. Okay. Boonk. Without thinking, I whispered it, but Kuroda sent a warning my wake by clearing his throat. Stop your daydreaming. This is just like the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. We are the magus. Sekimoto is the rat. And the villagers of Hamelin are the ones watching us. To the police officers, Sekimoto is probably nothing more than a rat that disrupts houses. I'm trying to read it just a little bit too fast and then I fuck up. They were probably all really happy to see him leave the station. I'm going to slow myself down a little bit. But I wonder if Sekimoto was really like that. Taking him away won't help the investigation on the blind man case. Corporeal, thank you so much for the 27 months. Holy shit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Police officers are waiting for us at the office's lobby entrance. Kuroda and I bow once more. We, Kuroda Kunio and Gigi Gab, are about to commence with Sekimoto's transfer order. Sir, we will accompany him to Tokyo. Be aware of your surroundings and be safe. Good luck. Thank you, sir. We bow again. There is a minivan waiting for us just outside the main entrance, with its engine running. The rear windows are painted white, blocking people from seeing anything inside. We open the doors and see sheets of paper that determine our seating. So Japanese! Going in. Proceed! Please get in the car. I said to Sekimoto. Once we were all seated, the doors closed. From the outside it looks like a regular car, but from the inside you can see that it's fitted to meet the police's needs. Once you're seated in the back, you can't get out of the car without the driver's help. Kuroda sat in the passenger seat. According to regulations, she should have also sat right next to the prisoner, but since this was just a simple witness transport, it was just me. Are you guys ready back there? Yes, sir. Kuroda looked through the metal partition between the front and the back seats to confirm. When I answered him that we were, he asked the driver to go. Kazamori would have been the driver if he were still alive, but another officer took his place instead. Let's go. The car silently starts driving after Kuroda's order. I just now realized Ruby's health in the bid boss because of the donation. Holy shit. We left the station and went through the center of town, eventually leading to a narrow mountain passage. The bleak scenery continues for a while. Sekimoto and I, who are in the back seats, can't see outside. We can only see objects moving left and right. Every now and then I'd look at Sekimoto, but he was looking forward in silence, never moving his eyes. What I can see through the front window is that it's pitch black. Our sight isn't very good. The car's light only lights up what's immediately in front of us. It's like our futures, the darkness symbolizing our insecurities. Oh, that translation, oh my god! We continued like this for a while, and once we get out of town and drive on the highway for about an hour, we'll be back in Tokyo. Once we arrive there, it will be my last time seeing Sekimoto. Realizing that, I look at him one more time. Can I talk to you in here? Sekimoto sat quietly so that the other two couldn't hear. We had several talks when we were moving you to Town C, but I don't know. We are the SLEU, a washout division. We hardly ever get the chance to transport someone. Well, then I'd better stay quiet, but I'm afraid this could be our last conversation, so... I feel the same way, but I don't really know what to talk about. Thanks for everything. Blah, blah, everything. I need to articulate. He smiled. Why are you thinking of murder? You'll be in trouble if they see you. It doesn't matter anymore. And we remained silent for a while. Hey, Trevin! Thank you so much for the host! That's awesome! Thank you. What were you playing? Take a little break, actually. Thank you! My tea's getting cold. For the hose. Thank you for the hose, Trav. Joel sent me. Oh, Joel! That's awesome. Joel's been really nice with the hosts as well. Thanks so much. Yeah, there's Joel. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Boats and hose. Coca-Cola tea. Yeah, I really wanted to... I already had a can of Coke, actually, before the stream, as I was recording Close Nightmare. So I was like, you know what? I shouldn't have 2 cans of Coke. So I'll switch to tea. Because it was a tiny bit cold anyway. Thank you for the hose, Trav. Stardew? Ah, that must have been super chill. Thanks so much. Yugi, thank you. Need to sleep, it's 1 a.m. here. Yeah, same here. Exactly. I remained silent for a while. I think the game should probably wrap up within an hour now. I said that I had decided to work with you because I wanted to find out who Blind Man was, right? Well, I had another reason. I turned my head to look at him. Another reason? Of course, it is true that I want to know who's using the name Blind Man. It would greatly improve my research if I could look into the person's psychology. But that wasn't the only reason. And I'm not saying I wanted to set that monster free into the world. As I've said before, I just wanted people to fear a blind man. I didn't want these things to actually happen. But he was given life in the real world. Someone is committing these atrocities in the name of blind men. This pains me. I thought you were more businesslike. Hey, runner! People often portray me as a mad scientist or say that I'm cold-blooded, but I'm a human being. I have a heart. I felt responsible for this. I wanted to take responsibility for this monster I had created. That's the reason I gave my statement in court. That was the place I would be heard. They can't silence you with all the press there. You said that before. Responsible. What exactly do you feel responsible for? As the one who created this monster, I want to guide him. I want to help him resist the monster. Without realizing I was staring at Sekimoto. Without giving me as much as a glance, he kept looking forward. Resist the monster? What are you talking about? Everything in this world has a purpose. I'm trying to give Blight Man his purpose. I'm his creator. It's my responsibility. To kill others? Sekimoto sighed. Were you even listening to what I just said? Hey, Quinn! I'm a folklorist who researches urban legends. I'm no killer. Blight Man knows all too well about murder. All I can do now is give him a motive. Isn't that the same thing? You're still using this case to spread your story. Blight Man, who was supposed to be a fictional character, turns out to be alive, and you wanted to give it purpose? Sekimoto stayed silent and kept looking at me. I kept staring back at him until he would answer me. I might have misunderstood Sekimoto Sojiro. He helped us out tremendously in different ways during the investigation. His bizarre information actually gave us some good leads. He even gave me support when my partner died. Oh, that should have been maybe just a period then? And through it all, my perception of him gradually changed. But is he actually just insane like I thought when I first met him? Is he a person that can't be trusted? Answer my question. Do you want Blind Man to keep killing people? Well, I wonder. I do think about it. Hey, look out! The driver slammed on the brakes, lifting us out of our seats. Shit's about to go down! What just happened? What's that? Oh, shit! Kuroda pointed to something up ahead. There was something on the road. Is that a person? I tried suggesting it might be a person, but wasn't entirely convinced myself. It looked too strange for that. That something on the road was completely wrapped in dirty rags. Here it comes. Is it some kind of an animal? Some kind of animal? Doesn't really need un. Why would anyone be here during this time of day? He was right. We were in the middle of the mountains and it was way too dark for someone to be out for a stroll. Wrapped in sheets. It must be an animal squirming around in those tattered rags. Hey, honk your horn. Maybe it will scare it away. I haven't said any movies yet. I'm still thinking about it. I want to make a schedule, but I've been too busy. But I'll definitely make one tomorrow or the day after. But we'll start. What was I going to say? 4 p.m. Europe time, 10 a.m. EST, Eastern time. The thing before us reacts to the horn and starts to move restlessly. It moves one way, then the other. As if it didn't know where to go. What is it? It's weirding me out, damn it. We can't waste any more time. I'll go have a look. You wait here. Kuroda opened the van door and went out. He slowly made his way over to it. My god, what is that? Oh, he's smiling. For some reason, Sekimoto began to smile. Why is he smiling? Ah! No, fuck. Kuroda screamed. Drawn to his scream, I look forward again, see that Kuroda has fallen to the ground. Gigi! Gigi! Call for backup! Kuroda, what is it? It's him! It's him! Coming over to help. Wait here, Sekimoto. I ran over to Kuroda. He was still trembling with fear. Kuroda! It's... He was pointing at it again, in the dirty rags. It was like it noticed us, and it was still moving around. It was moving very slowly, like it can't move properly. I could hear it dragging its feet. At the same time, I could faintly smell something entering my nasal cavities. It brought back a memory of a metallic taste in my mouth. Was that blood? I looked at its feet. I could see a liquid was dripping from its body, but it was too dark to tell if it was really blood or not. Are you hurt? Ugh. A groan came from inside the rags. Hearing that, I felt my cop instincts kick in. It's really a person? Are you alright? When I started to move towards it, the ragged cloth fell to the ground. The scissors are there too, so they were probably still stuck in their face as she was walking. So gross. Oh my god! Minase Haruka, is that you? Grr. Haruka's eyes were blood red. She looked like she was in so much pain because all she could do was struggle and twitch, kind of like a baby. Blind Man must have done something to her. Who did this to you? It was Blind Man, wasn't it? Where is he now? She wasn't responding. She didn't look like she could. Every now and then her mouth opens and closes, gasping for air, and I could see inside her mouth. Her tongue's been cut out. All she could do was groan. Haruka's bleeding wasn't stopping, but that means not a lot of time has passed since she received these injuries. I checked her condition one more time and tried to figure out what I should do next. That is... call for backup. Is backup coming? Keep trying. Actually, he was the one who told you to call backup, but whatever. I held Haruka tightly. I couldn't let her die like this. Haruka was a crucial witness who must have seen Blightman's face. Maybe that's the reason he cut out her tongue. Blightman might be afraid of Haruka's testimony. That's why he shut her up. Haruka, everything's gonna be okay. We called for help and backup is on its way. Fortunately, her grip was still strong. She must have been hurt very recently. As long as backup arrives soon, they'll be able to get to her in time. They're gonna be able to save her life. Then it occurred to me. Why were we the ones who found her? We've never found a victim just after it happened. And in case of the Takanakas, it took even more time. Blind Man had been working hard to avoid our investigation. But this time it felt a little different. Haruka, from her appearance, seemed to have been hurt very recently. Oh wait, tell me after the scene? Ambulance though, or first aid. Wait, what should you guys tell me? Did I miss something? I'm not really sure what, yeah. I'm waiting, but nothing's, She was just standing in the middle of the road, like a present. This must be a trap. So that would mean... She said she couldn't get out. Yeah, but there's still the driver in the car, so the driver just let her out. The driver of the van just has like a button, probably, to unlock the door. Hey, Peanut! So that would mean... He wanted us to find Haruka alive, and he made sure that she couldn't say anything. He had been crafting his trap and finally set it into motion right before we arrived. Does that mean Blind Man is hiding somewhere close? Ah. Haruka? She loses all her strength and her body goes limp. I put my finger to her neck and check for a pulse, but I couldn't feel anything. Haruka! An emptiness and intense rage boiled deep inside me. I laid Haruka's body down carefully and rose to my feet. Where the hell is our backup? I looked towards the car window. Ah! That was the driver. Driver was screaming, knife lodged in his chest. Driver was suddenly stabbed in the heart and is writhing in his seat from the pain. The blood gushing from his chest paints the front window red. As the blood makes it impossible for us to see inside, the car starts to move slowly. Gigi, it's moving! But Sekimoto's still inside. The driver's foot might be stuck on the gas pedal because the minivan's picking up speed. It went straight towards the guardrail. The car was about to go plunging off the cliff with Sekimoto inside. Kuroda got to the car before I did. He opened the back door and entered the car. Kuroda, hurry! The car was still moving towards the cliff. There wasn't enough time. Nothing! He's gone! Gigi! Sekimoto isn't here! Oh, shit! He's not in the car! What? Also, that is a shitty guardrail. That's exactly why guardrails are a thing, so that you can't go off the road like that. That was the last I heard Kuroda's voice. The van broke through the railing and plunged into the ravine. Kuroda! Kuroda! No matter how much I shouted, Kuroda didn't answer back. He was gone together with the van. Rip. I fell to the ground and just sat there. I couldn't find the strength to carry on. Just sat there staring at the broken guardrail, feeling helpless. Dun, 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 dun. Haruka just died and their car just went off a cliff. The officer who had been driving had also been killed, and now Kuroda. Sekimoto was nowhere to be found. What the hell is going on here? Only one word crossed my mind. Blank man. He must be out there somewhere, watching me. I don't think he's going to let me walk away from this. I'm the last remaining surviving witness. Even if I didn't get a look at Blind Man whatsoever, he'll kill me to complete the crime. I can't let him have that satisfaction, but what should I do? I closed my eyes and tried to concentrate. But I can't seem to steer my thoughts one way. Instead, an anger close to panic fills my entire body. There was a flash of someone's eyes on the screen for a split second. Yeah, there was. I missed it though this time. But yeah, I remember there is. I can't believe we've been played by Blind Man again. Yes, I'm afraid so. Ooh, Sekimoto! Huh? Something hit me like an electronic shock that sent a sharp pain pulsating down my body, causing me to twitch uncontrollably before I passed out. Long sentence. Someone was staring at me when I fell to the ground. It was Sekimoto Sojiro, but there was another person as well, who I didn't recognize. Ooh. Where am I? Oh, shit's about to get real! As I woke up, I shook my head and came to my senses. My blurred vision slowly returned to normal, and I looked at my surroundings. I found myself in what appeared to be a house. That's all I could tell at the moment. The house didn't look like it had been taken care of, and the dust-filled air made it hard for me to breathe. You can save Kazamori in a second playthrough, but I'm not sure about Kuroda. When I looked around the dark room, it was obvious that this house hadn't been cleaned in a long time. The smell of mold and dust filled the air. The tatami mats were all covered with dirt. I also don't know if this English version you can save them, because when I translated it, there was only this version. I could only see faint light coming from the window in the other room, so it could still be night. I wondered how many hours had passed. I tried to check my watch, but it was gone. I was on that mountain path. We were transporting Sekimoto Sojiro to the Tokyo detention house. But now I woke up in some place I've never seen before. Where the hell am I? Tried to get up. Ouch! At that moment, a sharp pain traveled through my entire body. I couldn't move. Thanks to that pain, I realized that this is not some dream or hallucination, but that this is unmistakably real. There was no one else in the room. Sekimoto wasn't here either. Where is he? I stopped trying to get up and laid back down. I tried searching for my mobile phone. But I couldn't find my cell phone anywhere. The wireless police walkie-talkie that I had equipped for the move is also gone. I tried to grab it where I always clip it, but it's not there. I might have dropped it in all the chaos. But I have to contact the police somehow. No watch, no cell phone, no walkie-talkie, and I can't move. Then something flitted through my mind. It was... fear? It was terrifying. My whole body started shrinking back at the thought. It was terrifying? Probably just it was fear would be better. I didn't know where I was, what time it was, and I couldn't do anything. There was no way to call for backup. Even if I screamed for help, there was probably no one around to hear me. I was completely alone without backup. You could say the fat lady sung. What should I do? I couldn't even calm down and come up with a strategy. Joy, yeah. Who the hell brought me here? Then suddenly I remembered. The last thing I saw in the mountains, the van falling down to the ravine, and right after, me getting attacked and falling to the ground. Right in front of me were Sekimoto and someone else. That other person must have been Blindman. He must have brought me here to kill me, so he can escape the police. I was positive that I wasn't rescued and brought here. Yeah, the place doesn't look really like that. When I realized that, I quickly tried reaching for my baton. But it was gone. I tried to drag my body across the floor to try and get the hell out of this place. I slowly crawled through the room. All I could smell and taste were the mold and dust in the air. When I managed to reach the other end of the room, I could see a dim light coming from another room. A stench reached me that I didn't smell before. The smell of old blood. Ooh. That metallic taste spread in my mouth, on my tongue. I also started smelling something rotting, but I couldn't see where it was coming from. I crawled to the next room to try to see where the smell was coming from. The closer I got, the stronger the smell. Well, she can't even walk, because she got tasered so badly, so they probably thought, she's not getting up anytime soon. Yo! I couldn't believe my eyes. There was blood spattered everywhere. There were many tools covered in blood, and the smell of death filled the room. I finally understood what this place was used for. This is where the disposal happened. Blind Man must have cut up the living numerous times. On the table in the center of the room were numerous tools casually strewn about that tell the story. You should get some more rest. When I turned my head, there was a girl standing behind me with a gentle smile. Ta-da! Woo! Makimura Sanai? Yes, that's me. So good to see you again. Oh, and thank you so much for everything during my interrogation. Even though she's acting very well behaved, she's covered in blood from head to toe. Very glad you came too, though. I was starting to worry that you wouldn't wake up. She was acting like a worried close friend. My current surroundings, combined with the way she was talking to me, were messing with my head. Is this your house? I'm just using it. There are a lot of vacant places here in town, see. Are you gonna arrest me for this? Arrest? I'm no expert, so correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this called trespassing? What was she talking about? Trespassing was the least of her concerns being in this butcher house. Why is she worried about trespassing? Will I be accused of something? What have you been doing in this house? She was the one... She's the girl that was training to be a nurse whose boss committed suicide. And the boss was the one who was in contact with Tamura because their company wasn't doing well. She was doing a free internship at the company. And she's taking care of elderly. Yes, she's from the welfare place. Yes. What was that? What I was doing? She seemed troubled by my question, like she didn't understand me. Yes, what have you been doing? I don't think I have to explain that to you, do I? Or do you want me to go into detail? She's absolutely insane. I couldn't find any sign of remorse in her expression. Well, all right, Gigi. Oh, there's no quotation marks. Gigi, I'm going to tell you everything since you've been so nice to me. I'm using this place for my work. I store my tools here, sharpen my blades, perform cutting experiments, and try out new utensils. This is really fun to translate. You can tell from my voice that I was really enjoying this. Depending on the quality of the meat, you need different kind of tools. Men and women are totally different, so I'm using this place for research. For your information, sharper isn't always better. You know how there's bone at the center of the meat? If a very sharp knife hits the bone, you can chip the blade. She's cute, yeah. Hey, are you okay? You seem distracted. Is my story boring you? I was in shock by how much concern she showed towards me. I also couldn't understand how calmly she said all this. So as I was saying, I have many tools at the ready. I have a Chinese kitchen knife to sever heavy chunks of meat. I have pocket knives that can pierce flesh. I have a saw to sever bone, and so on. Incredible, don't you think? She was smiling ecstatically. Oh, you must be thinking that something's wrong, aren't you? Well, yes, you're right to think that. I'll tell you because I know none of this makes any sense. If I have been mutilating bodies here, their bodies wouldn't match white man's MO, right? I know you're thinking it. I always knew you were a brilliant detective. You need to be observant to be a cop. She just keeps on talking. She starts talking faster without even taking a breath. It was like she was boasting to a person that she really admired, but the topic was horrible and irrational. Do you remember all of the things that have been happening in Town C? It's a quiz, so please answer me. This sudden change flustered me. Her eyes were fixated on me and wouldn't move. She's so creepy. Even when I tried to look away, her eyes with a big creepy smile never left me, waiting for me to answer. A strange fear is awakening in me. I'm starting to see something uncanny through her politeness. Something very bad is going to happen if I answer wrong. That was what my gut told me. That's... serial homicides? It's the serial killings, right? Gigi, what have you been investigating all this time? Do you really think that's all of it? Huh? I'm positive I have been chasing after a serial killer for the murders in Town C. What else is she implying? I was frantically trying to remember anything I might have forgotten. Seeing me like this made Sanae smile. I'm sorry, but you can't change your answer. Okay, time for your punishment. Ah! She stuck a long, sharp knife into my foot. Felt like the pain was enough to drive me insane. Blood started gushing out from the fresh wound. So what was the right answer? Huh? The answer to your question. What was I missing? Oh, right. It would be wrong of me not to tell you the right answer. Right, you're right. So many other things have happened in Town C besides just the ones that recently happened. They were just not as noticeable. You must have heard about all of the people going missing. I had. When we discovered the first victim, Tamara, there had already been a lot of missing persons in this area. I understand how something like that is hard to miss. Besides that, people that have gone missing were all from out of town. And when they disappear completely, you don't have a lot to go on. I don't know the specifics of a missing persons investigation, but isn't it that as long as there's no proof, it's really hard to search for someone? That's true, but we don't start an investigation unless the missing person case is urgent. If someone disappears on their own accord, the case will go to civil affairs most of the time. Those cases of people mysteriously vanishing in Town C were never investigated. And you don't even know if the person wanted to disappear or not. Is that right? Hey, Farkle! It's no use. The pain in my foot is starting to make me feel dizzy. Do you have something to do with... Are you alright? You look like you're in a lot of pain. Are you saying that you've killed all the missing persons? Yes, that was me. She pretends to be worried about me, but she doesn't move a muscle to actually help me. Then what about Blind Man? Oh, that. Do you really want to know about it? I do. But don't you know the answer already? Sanae stood in front of me. Okay, let's get started, Gigi. It won't be fun if you lose consciousness anyway. She grabbed a knife off the table. This is the first time I've done so much in just one day. I should perk up. While she says that cheerfully, I noticed a bucket behind her for the first time. I could see someone's hand had been carelessly thrown in there. I had already half prepared myself for this. What has happened up until now started rushing past me. What Sakimoto said during his court trial. Him being moved to our small police department. My argument with him. And the horrible events that followed. And this place. I closed my eyes. I want to at least get all the connections straight in my head. If I do that, I can at least come to a conclusion about this case. This was my last wish. I think I need to do the... Yeah, this one. Kanaya Hiromu. He confessed that he had killed Tamura and committed suicide by biting off his own tongue. What kind of person was he? He had a drug addiction. How are Kanaya and Blind Man connected? The medication. Yes. Who was pretending to be Blind Man, the fictional character from the urban legend? That is Sanae. Fill in all the empty spaces. You can also modify the places where you have already used the keyword. I don't think I've done this once yet. Complete this entire chart. Okay. Minase. Easy customer. Oh wait, what did it say? Kanaya was an easy customer of Haruka. Yeah. Blind Man gave Kanaya the dietary medication. Kanaya Hiromu suffered from a drug addiction. Oh, this bastard. He wanted to exclusive. Yeah. For Scoop. Intelligent. That's the family. Loan retrieval. He got down on his knees and he begged. That's true. There's Sanae again. She didn't know Tamura personally. Okay. Tamura and Minase. That was the DV. What's the bruise? Haruka's bruise was from Tamura. Yeah. Wait. Grudge? She had a grudge against Tamura. Yeah, I'll do this. Hey, Brenda! I think that's it. I think I filled in all the blanks. Do you guys agree? I don't remember what it was originally. Do you think this is a pass? I think it is. Would you mind if I confirm this? That's a bit weird. Might have to rephrase that. Maybe just like, would you like us to confirm or something? Or are you ready? Or are you finished or something? Kanaya Hiromu was addicted to drugs. According to Misu's autopsy report, there was a good chance that the drugs had made him delusional. Kanaya can be considered a drug addict. Blind Man gave Kanaya the medication. Kanaya said that he got it from Blind Man. Sanae is Blind Man. The person who's doing this to me is definitely her. Here comes. Ooh! 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 Hey! I think I got everything. Great! Are you sure? Yeah, change it to that, yeah. You are blank man. Well, nice to meet you. I am indeed the blank man you are pursuing. She laughed triumphantly. Did you think it was a man? That's not unreasonable. It does have the word man in the name after all. Even though she was smiling ear to ear, her eyes made it seem as though she were possessed. It's a shame you didn't realize it sooner, since you're gonna die now anyway. I have no doubt this girl is intending to kill me. What can I do to stay alive? These lips and tongue are the only things that I can use. I can only rely on my eloquence. If our conversation ends, all that's left for me is to die in this horrible room filled with the stench of death. As long as I keep talking with her, I should be able to buy myself some time. You're having way too much fun with this. I mean, I did do the whole game for free, so of course I like the game. Tried my hardest to find something to talk about, even though my brain was nearly paralyzed by fear. Are you going to kill me? Huh? That's an odd question to ask. Why are you asking me that? Because, I can't hesitate, not even for a moment. Once she loses interest in me, I'll end up in that bucket. You're not giving up, are you? That's amusing, Gigi. She brought her mouth close to my ear and whispered. You should prepare yourself for death. Well, it doesn't matter. Killing someone who's already given up is still fun. She might have said that to pressure me. I bet she was just trying to scare me. Ooh, she's so crazy. Blind man, I mean Makimura Sanae, likes to toy with her victims when she has them in the palm of her hand. I'm frustrated, that's all. Frustrated? Why? I figured out that you're a blind man, but that's it. Just knowing who did it is not enough. What moved you to kill? I want to know your reasons before I die. She smiled creepily as if she was pleased by what I said. So you're saying you don't care what happens to you as long as you get to know? Am I right? But it won't change anything. You will still die and blind man will live on. It will be a long time before they discover your body. It's probably a very long story if you want to know everything, but if I were to stop killing people for some reason after you, it could take decades before they figure out what happened. Even if you knew everything about me now, I might still get away with it. Do you still want to know? I'm living for your rendition of Sanae. I like it a lot. I answer fast. I'm not a patient person. I still want to know the truth. Ha 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 ha. You're a strange person, Gigi. I'm just a detective in the washed out division. The only jobs we get are protecting dangerous criminals. We get the weird ones. You're so different from all the others who've already died here. They all just got scared as soon as I picked up a tool. They cry and scream and beg for their life. That's why I cut their tongues out first. You should voice all the crazy anime chicks. Yeah. Without any anesthetics, of course. I couldn't afford those with my salary, even if I wanted to. They'll die anyway. On second thought, the police probably would have found me if I bought them, because buying anesthetics is extremely hard. They would have detected it during the autopsy and would have investigated the drug distribution route. Right. Thank goodness I knew I was right. She was pleased that her suspicions were right. I wondered if she just wanted to know how the police does its job. But we're getting a bit off track. I wanted to know the whole truth. I'm not interested in her narrow-minded worries. You said I'm strange. Can you elaborate on that? Oh, sorry, but I only said that because you weren't begging for your life. Aren't you afraid of dying, Gigi? Of course I am, but what's even scarier is dying without knowing anything. That might actually be really true. Oh, really? So what if I cut your ears off instead of telling you the truth? I accidentally started laughing. It wasn't like I had gone crazy with fear. It's just that everything had become clear in my head. Why are you laughing? I think you're the strange one. You're the strange one. You're still going to kill me either way, right? Then you don't have to tell me anything, now do you? That's true. I wanted to see how far you'd go. But it's fine. I'll tell you. This is going to take a while, though. Is that okay? I nodded. It wasn't like I had a choice anyway. She sat down right beside me, playing with one of her tools. As I said before, I'm not really a patient person. I give up easily and I avoid troublesome work. My life is led by others. This is actually really sad. To be honest, I have a hard time keeping my emotions in check. I can't handle pressure, so if it comes to it, I panic. Living in that state, I was like a switch. It was like a switch was flipped at some point, and I realized change was needed. Oh, but not that I started killing people right away, I think. We're way before that. I was a person who couldn't say no to anything. I had 3 different newspapers delivered to my house just because I couldn't say no to the telemarketers. She laughed at herself in a cute way. If we were in a cafe together in town, people would mistake us for 2 close friends having a conversation. And the same goes for Kanaya. Kanaya Hiromu? Yeah, that's correct. Kanaya preyed on my weakness. I couldn't refuse. I really hated him for doing that, but I wasn't brave enough to stand up for myself. What did he make you do? Her story was somewhat confusing. It wasn't the truth that I wanted to know, and it didn't seem relevant at all. When I asked my question, she seemed to realize something. Oh, so sorry. Are you following what I'm saying? Alright, let me try to explain it better. Let's start with Takenaka. Takenaka Shinjiro. He and his family were murdered at their own house on the outskirts of town. Considering the timeline, I think he would be considered the first victim of blind men. Time for exposition. Yeah, exactly. He was a graduate student researching urban legends at the university. We began to see each other when he came back to town. At first our relationship was normal. I didn't do anything and I didn't kill anymore. I didn't kill anyone. It felt like a fresh start. All was well between the 2 of us, and he even supported my decision of me wanting to become a nurse. Even though it was outside his field of experience, he helped me study for my nursing certificate. He was a very sweet, normal man. Come to think of it, that was the happiest part of my life. But even though he was so kind to me, I could sense something dark hidden deep inside him. And the happiness didn't last forever. One day, Takenaka began to change. It started out small. He would stand me up or have terrible mood swings. Those small changes piled up and he kept changing. It seemed like something was causing him a lot of stress. It might have been from his struggles with finding a job in town, or that he felt isolated because he didn't know anyone outside of his family. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, he was anxious about something, and it started growing bigger in his mind, which caused him to turn into a completely different person. Talking this whole time without a break, she now takes a breather. But the story was far from the truth that I was so eager to hear about. I still won't know anything if she kills me now. As if she heard my thoughts, Sanae continued. Takenaka was a pervert. Huh? Oh, the music cuts out. The sudden change in the story made me speak up without thinking. Do you want to hear about it? Oh, you don't have to go into any specifics. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if you don't like it or not, because you're gonna die anyway. What was weird about him was after he was really rough with me in bed, well, there was only one paper sliding door between us and his parents. That's so fucked up. He would whisper weird stuff in my ear while I was still breathing harshly on my pillow. I have been studying some urban legends and know all sorts of Japanese stories, including ones about some really strange monsters. There are monsters and horrible stories that are actually believable, unlike the common ghost stories, such as Hanako in the bathroom or the man-faced dog. Menu time. Database. Man-faced dog. This is an urban legend that has been around since the 1990s. It's about a creature with the body of a dog and the face of a human that appears in garbage dumping grounds or back alleys. If you speak to him, he'll talk back to you with something similar to, "What are you looking at?" or "Leave me alone." They have been sighted near highways running at 100 kilometers an hour, and most of them are said to have the face of a middle-aged man. Isn't that weird? It's so awesome. Hanako. This is a famous school-related urban legend about the ghost of a girl appearing in elementary schools. It is said she wears a bright red skirt with a white t-shirt and has a bobbed haircut. In some places it is specified in which stall and on which side of the bathroom she'll appear. It is a different location in every school, and some places also have a way of conjuring her. Pretty cool. Yeah, what are you looking at? Yeah, really cool. Let's save this. Yes. Okay. The Antarctic man or the sewer crocodile make people uneasy because they seem plausible. 2 more stories. Sewer croc. This is a famous urban legend in the United States. The story goes that there once was a pet crocodile that was dumped in the sewers but learned to adapt and grew really big. The story is also called the White Crocodile. In Manhattan, New York, a boy said he saw a crocodile in the sewers when he was dumping snow into a manhole. Crocodile was then shot and killed by a rescue crew. The story was even published in a local well-known paper. There was one more, wasn't it? Antarctic. Whaling ships, among others, have often reported witnessing a big, unidentified, mysterious animal, UMA. So we have UFO and UMA. I never knew that. Around the South Pole area. They say it is shaped like a human. Its whole body is white, and they say it is tens of meters tall. Like the name suggests, it looks like a human. Yep. I asked him why he had begun studying those terrifying things, but he just laughed. I am the same as everyone else living in this world. I am obsessed with urban legends and was drawn to the one who wanted to give them life. Oh my, is he? I recalled Takenaka Shinjiro's personal information. Yes, he was talking about Sekimoto Sojiro. Takenaka always rambled on about Sekimoto. He said, I can't stand his work. It's the devil's work. The professor has created the biggest monster of all, and it's called the Blind Man. Oh, there's the again. I really should be more consistent with that. He talked about that character all the time. When I asked him about it, he told me how scary it was, over and over. He explained that Blind Man was a fictional character for a fake urban legend, and was created for research purposes. Or is Sekimoto? Yeah, we'll find out, Baknari. Blind Man is said to appear at night and will take away the eyes of anyone walking the streets alone with scissors. He also leaves a message in the victim's mouth saying, give me your eyes, and targets the next person who finds the message. Takenaka told me that over and over and over, terrified that the actual Blind Man would come after him someday. So he said that he wanted to do whatever he wanted before he died, and that's when I realized he wanted to die. So basically what happened is she's like mentally tortured just by her disability to say no, pretty much, and then people are taking advantage of her. And then she gets into this relationship with a dude that's basically raping her and abusing her as his parents are in the next room and they can hear everything. And that goes on for months. And then she finally snaps. He wanted to die. I don't have any proof of this. It's just a feeling. But him being scared of dying and talking about it time and time again made me feel like he was giving up on life. But since he was a coward, he couldn't take his own life. And he was always so cruel to me. As I looked at him so helpless in his depression, an idea popped into my mind. If he is really so scared of Blind Man's shadow, what if I freshen things up by having Blind Man appear for real? And that was the end of that household. There's no one else living in that area anymore. So that's why it took a long time for you to discover them, Gigi. But his parents were there too. Why did you kill them as well? Oh, that's simple. They seemed like they wanted to die too. You've seen that place for yourself, right? It looked like they were waiting to die in that miserable, worthless residential area. I don't know what the reason was, but they seemed to have given up on life, just like their son, so I helped them. You jumped to conclusions. Well, yeah, maybe, but I felt like I was reborn. I broke through a taboo by doing something that is not permitted. I was numbed by a sense of sin and corruption. To be honest, I remember being really happy. After that, I looked over the dead family who lied there quietly, and I left with a smile. But someone saw me walking away all covered in blood. I thought that was it for me. Fortunately, Kanaya didn't call the police. Kanaya, bastard. Instead, he filmed me and then blackmailed me with the video. What a terrible story from beginning to end. All the people in her story, including Murasane herself, have something twisted about them. Kanaya was too much. He treated me like a toy. It made Takenaka seem tender. So even he had sex with her, probably. Kanaya didn't have very good communication skills either. Don't you agree? I had to agree with her on that one. I think relationships are shaped by empathy and sharing feelings with each other. I think that's the same for nursing. But Kanaya only thinks and talks about his own feelings. Can you believe that? And he'd whispered the name Haruka as he played with my body. So twisted. I was a substitute for Minase Haruka because he couldn't get it on with her. To be honest, that's humiliating, isn't it? And he made sure I knew that, as he told me over and over. I couldn't endure it any longer. My happiness, anger, and the sadness I had been denying myself were at their limits. Hey, Doom! I had to do something to punish Kanaya, but I couldn't overpower him by sheer force, and he still had the picture of me as evidence. Because I couldn't use the same method I used with Takenaka, I devised a new plan that would make him self-destruct. Self-destruct? I decided to use his inferiority complex against him. So smart. I started telling him that Haruka would only notice him if he lost some weight. Of course, I knew that he wasn't the type to exercise or restrict his food intake, and it wasn't really my intention to have him lose weight anyway. All this I already know. Samadhi Medical Diet. That's right, you figured out the name, huh? It's heavily used in Southeast Asia where the regulations aren't so strict. You don't have to exercise, you don't have to restrict your food intake. The drugs make you feel full and therefore prevent you from overeating. It was perfect for Kanaya. After I started giving him the drug, I gave him reports on Haruka's reactions. I told him that she thought he looked thin and that she was surprised that his chin line was improving. Men are so simple and gullible, don't you think so? He actually believed everything I told him. He really did lose some weight, but there were side effects. Yeah, some pretty serious ones. I wanted to vent my frustration, but Sanae didn't show any sign of stopping her monologue, and so I bit my tongue. He was getting worse and more delusional by the day, saying that Haruka was having a hard time lately because of a guy. And I kept handing him the drugs, whispering in his ear that he could take him on if he'd lose some weight. When his delusions reached a certain point, I was the one to whisper in his ear how he should kill him. I told him to grab a pair of scissors and stab the victim's eyes out for an easy kill with enough screams to satisfy his needs. Kanya took in the information and killed Haruka's lover just like that. Exactly like I told him, like Blind Man. And he apparently lost his mind and killed his entire family. You probably know the rest of the story, right? Yes, Kazamori was killed because of you. No, you're wrong. It was Kanaya's fault. You shouldn't have given him that medication. If you start like that, there will be no end to it. You could say I shouldn't have gone to meet him or that he shouldn't have met Haruka. I can go on and on, so don't try to blame it on me. He was delusional that's all. Ever since he killed Haruka's lover, his mental condition worsened, and he no longer cared about me. I was finally free, but it was just the beginning of another anxiety disorder. Were you worried about the investigation? Sanae shook her head. I wasn't worried about his testimony because Kanaya was taking that drug, and anything he'd say in court would be thrown out. I was afraid that no one would ever need me and I would live the rest of my life in this town alone. Even if I got that nursing certificate, what next? No one would be there to cheer for me. I felt so alone. The anxiety that nobody needed me anymore stemmed from the time when I was abused by Kanaya. I needed to find someone who would need me, and then I realized. There are many people who need me. The people in your facility? I asked her, but I think I already knew the answer. It's written all over your face that you don't expect a good answer. That should be just a small I if I want to use a comma. This man, for example. Sanae pointed to the bucket. The arm covered in blood seemed to say hi to me as she introduces him. They have become corpses because of what I have done. They couldn't have died without my help. And if I don't do my work, Blind Man will cease to exist. What do you mean by that? My every action is crucial to the believers of Blind Man. He lives as I kill. I am necessary for those people. That feeling of fulfillment is what made me do it. I invited random people who I have never met and murdered them here. Do you know that feeling, Gigi? No, I don't want to know. I can't believe she's killing people just to satisfy her vanity. I don't want her to ask me to understand her state of mind for killing people with pleasure. Who's the other one? I thought you said you weren't alone. You already know all too well about the other person. It's Professor Sekimoto Sojiro. Now that Takenaka was no more, I thought Sekimoto might be interested in me. He might understand me. Because I was the one who brought this creation to life after all. I'm really busy working at the care institution, but when I get the chance, I take someone from outside here to continue my work. I tried so hard to get Sekimoto's attention in Tokyo, but I felt like it wasn't enough. So I wrote him several letters. I wrote him letters in which I loved him like a father. And I was his child, Blind Man. So fucked up. Wait, then you were the one who brought Sekimoto here? That was a big surprise. I was so happy when he actually showed interest. But him coming to Village C was top secret. How did you know? A child always knows what their parents are thinking. She's avoiding the question. Someone must have leaked that information. I wanted him to see his child grown up. I wanted him to know I really exist. I wanted to let him know that he was growing healthy and quickly. Growing? Look, Dad, look what I can do. She talked like a needy child. Wataru was pretty simple. She already had an issue with walking properly. She wasn't that sensitive when I was nursing her. But there was a moment where she noticed that something was wrong when I told her it was time for a walk. I thought I didn't have to worry about her because she had dementia, but she was still pretty sharp. I had to stab her eyes out and put that ladder in her mouth because she kept on babbling. Just like how Sekimoto had determined. Hey, Kirk! And you showed up, Gigi. You looked so brave. Her compliment didn't make me feel any better. I was so excited on my way back to let Sekimoto know about it. And what about Minase Haruka? Oh, that was so much more troublesome. She was still young, and I was worried we'd be heard, even though there's no one around on the mountain road. She could be pretty loud. So I kept hitting her until she went quiet, just in case. I ripped up her underwear and pushed it down her throat as far as I could. She's so evil. That was the best time I ever had. Do you know why? Huh? Because I was about to see Professor Sekimoto for the very first time. I was so happy. I was hiding in the forest while you guys discovered Haruka and stopped your car. I was so excited I almost screamed with joy. But it took all the strength I had not to, because I still had some more work left to do. You still had to kill the driver. Yep, that's right. That was a bit of a disappointment because I didn't have enough time to stab out his eyes. But luckily enough, the car started moving and drove off the cliff, killing Kuroda. Oh, is that so? Well, it doesn't matter. What does it matter? Don't worry, you'll join them soon, Gigi. Don't be sad. How did you know we were transporting him back? It was easy. I monitored you guys every day. It's no use. She's getting bored. She doesn't feel any remorse for killing those people. There isn't a single care left in her heart. Well, that's about it. I told you everything you wanted to know. Now it's your turn. So much for buying time. Are you ready? Of course not. No one ever wants to die. Don't worry. Just think of it as a sacrifice for all the believers of Blind Man. Try crying, screaming, and begging for your life because you're scared and it hurts, okay? It was so much fun to translate her. Please don't kill me. Feels as if all the things in my brain had suddenly been deleted. I can't let her see me wail and beg for my life. As soon as I act like that, she will cut me into pieces. Why are you acting so calm, as if you still have hope? Here we go. Life or death. There's still hope. What do you think? Well, this music. Final battle! Well, I don't know. What do you think? I'm the one who's asking you. Are you up to something here? What do you expect me to say? I watched her eyes carefully. I could sense a rustle of emotion within them. She didn't seem to like my answer. Just kill me already. That's what you want, right? Yeah, that's true, but killing a person who wants to die would be boring. I want you to scream in despair. It would be fulfilling. She was explaining her intentions, and I got a hint for my survival. Talk about inappropriate music, yeah. Sandstorm. It was no use begging for mercy. She'd kill me as soon as I did that. Okay. I have a question. Will you continue your work, even after you kill me? Are you trying to give me a conscience? Now? Please don't ever try, okay? I like this music, though. I'll hurt you even more if you're gonna say stuff like that. But I'm about to die. But I'm about to die anyway, right? God, how annoying. You just try a bit harder. Maybe you'll get a chance to survive. I know all too well that there's no such thing for me. Just answer some of my questions. How's that sound? How does that sound? I've decided. I'll just kill you right now. You're such a headache. She changed her mind so quickly it made my heart beat fast. She'll kill me if I keep this up. I have to control her emotions better. Shit. Can you tell me how you would dispose of me when I'm dead? Well, that's a good question. You don't want to know, but you just have to ask. A question full of despair like that gives me such a thrill. Please. Please, tell me what you're about to do. You don't want to die horribly, is that it? Well, I certainly don't plan on surrounding your body with pretty flowers. I pretended as if I was trembling in fear because I thought that's what she wanted to see. No, I don't want that. Sure you don't. Sanae smiled just as I expected. I begin to see more ways to trick her. Please let that be a good one. Ah! You shouldn't underestimate the police. Even if you think you got rid of all the evidence, we'll still be sure to find you. You're babbling again. I think it's a good time to cut out your tongue now. The last thing I need is an annoying lecture. Small particles, enough. Even if you try to get rid of all the evidence, if only a small particle remains, they will find it. Ahaha, the police are impressive. Something is entertaining about this to her. Sanae brought her smiling face close to mine. The music is so loud. Which do you prefer, hot or painful? What are you talking about? What? Come on, you really need an explanation? I'm asking you if you want to be burned before or after I chop you into pieces. Which is it? Okay, I need to turn the volume down again. It's already like so low on my monitor. It's still too fucking loud. Oh, that's better. There. Is it too loud for you guys too? Should I turn it down a little bit? Even the smallest particle would count as evidence, right? So I figured I'd just burn you. So choose, hot or sore. You can choose since you gave me the idea. Please listen to me. There's no point in killing people. How many more do you have to kill before you'll stop? I've never really thought about that. I don't really think there's any meaning to this. Besides, it's become part of my everyday life. It's a habit now. Sounds fine? Okay. Justification for murder. You think it's too late to turn back, right? Ridiculous. You're just trying to justify your situation. So what are you trying to say? You're gonna die anyway, Gigi. Also, it's really none of your business. You're telling me not to complain about the fact that I'm about to die? Then kill me already. I don't care about what you want. Now don't be so hasty. Just do as I say or I'll kill you. She seemed angry at me for the first time. But you're already going to do that anyway. What's the point? She slapped me instead of killing me. This strange act gave something away. Why is she only taunting me and not actually killing me? Ah! Why is that red? That was insightful. Please don't do this. I don't want to die. Fuck, I might die here. There, that's it. I was waiting for you to say that. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Fuck, what do I do? Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'll do anything you want. I screamed at the top of my lungs, begging for my life because I wanted to see how she reacted to it. Anything I want? Then let me kill you the way I please. That's okay, right? Please, don't kill me. She swung her knife. Oh, I thought this was the end, but nothing happened. Sanae appeared to be looking at the room next to us. Oh shit, I'm gonna die though still. So something inside that room? Maybe it has something to do with why she hadn't killed me yet. I survived! I'm still in it! What does it mean for you to kill? Hello, Gigi? Have you forgotten everything I've told you? I remember, I think. I remember all of it, of course. You want to keep killing people so You want to keep killing so people will believe in Blind Man. But I feel like there's something else to it. Stop being so philosophical. It's making me dizzy. I'd rather talk about my favorite body parts to slice open. Let's stop all this meaningless chit-chat. Wait, I have to get rid of one final thought or I can't move on. I won't be able to rest in peace if I don't ask. Don't worry, Gigi. There's nothing beyond death. Ghosts don't exist. I've killed so many people and no one has ever come back to haunt me. Sanae smiled. Sympathizing with her is impossible. The part of her that would make her human is already broken. Okay. I've got one final question for you. I really want to ask you, are you going to continue killing after you're done with me? You're very persistent. I hate that about you. Even if I answered, why does it matter to you? Fuck. Curiosity. I don't know. I'm just curious. Can't you do this for me? Curious? Why would you be curious when you're about to die? I guess it's not a bad thing. Then tell me. No, why should I listen to you? Now then. She stood up and glanced over me contemptuously. Gigi, let's begin, shall we? Did I survive? Oh, I'd survived. Gigi, you're such a mysterious person. I really can't understand what you're thinking about, and that fascinates me. Was that a compliment, or are you trying to mock me? I really meant it. If we had met each other under different circumstances earlier in life, we could have been friends. Sorry, but no thanks. All that is left for me now is to accept this miserable fate and to curse you. Haha, let's finish this then. I want to enjoy this. Oh yeah, there's definitely a way to get it in the blue. I just am really bad at these things. This was the end. Sanae was going to mince me up until there was nothing left. She had already killed numerous people like this before, so she probably knew the best way to induce pain and kill efficiently. Sanae might remove all my skin and sever my arms, leaving only my respiratory and vascular system. Unfortunately, my eyes, ears, brain, and sense of pain would still work as she'd take out my vital organs one by one. Oh, yeah. That reminds me of one of the bad endings. Holy shit. I'll tell you about it after this. It was so depressing knowing that there was no way of escaping this hell. I'd given up completely, but my body refused to stop trembling. Oh, whatever. Just kill me. Yeah, but since you've lived up to this point, I will kill you just like Blank Man would kill you. I'll go as deep as I can when I take out your eyes. I'll do my best to get your brain. How delightful. It is, because this time someone will be watching me. Someone? Ah, welcome! Sanae stood up and ran towards the door. You've come here at the right time. The show's about to start. Please come in and take the best seat in the house. I could hear heavy footsteps approaching. When I see who she brought, my eyes open wide. Oh, who she brought in, I see. Ta-da! How are you feeling, Gigi? Sekimoto Sojiro. Anger started to boil and began roaring inside me like molten lava. I wonder how much you have figured out, Gigi. She knows everything, sir. I even told her about the letters I wrote to you while you were in custody. There might be some misunderstandings here, though. I can tell from your eyes. Were you using me? I'm not sure. Does it really matter now? I like your expression, Gigi. I knew you'd be moved when seeing the final piece of the puzzle. Now I'm motivated to kill you again. Sekimoto Sojiro, you will be brought to justice for this. A man must die someday. Before my life was in the hands of the government. Now all these threats are meaningless to me. And besides, this has been satisfying my scientific curiosity to the fullest. Makimura Sanae was an interesting specimen. She materialized my story. But sir... Sanae was looking at him, dumbstruck. I really want to write the paper on your behavior. Makimura Sanae had tears in her eyes. Maybe this is what she always wanted, to feel needed by someone. I was about to lose it with all these crazy events all happening so close together. I found out about what had happened in Village C during the trial. I'm lucky I managed to experience it up close in the end. I don't want to be just another sacrifice for their desires. All I was to them was a source of satisfaction. I can't believe I'm getting killed just to fulfill their sadistic needs. I have to do something. Now show me the work of Blind Man. Yes, sir! Mm-hmm. She grabbed a pair of scissors and walked towards me in glee. I won't forget your face, even if you stab my eyes out. I will come back from the dead and haunt you until you take a plunge down to hell. Shut up. This will be my most important performance yet. Please don't disturb me. Ah! Sanae grabbed my chin tightly and tilted my head to face upward. She seemed ecstatic as Sekimoto watched on from the rear with his cold expression. Blood was spattered all over the ceiling. That was all I could see, and what would probably be the last thing I'd see in my life. She slowly brought the scissors close to my eyes. They shined so brightly, she must have polished them in preparation for this day. Thanks for everything. Now, die for me. Ah! Huh? Oh! Right in the chest! Why? Sekimoto had suddenly stabbed Sanae in the chest and she fell to the floor. Perplexed expression was the last thing I saw from her face. She tried so hard to grab the knife and... Knife? Fuck, it's a scissor! But I'm sure the text said knife. We need to translate that as scissors, because otherwise it doesn't fit the image. She tried so hard to grab the scissors and to pull them out from her chest. But Sekimoto moved to stand on both of her arms. He's just like pinning her to the floor. Sanae cried out as Sekimoto stomped and broke one of her fingers. Sir, why? Blood was gushing from her chest. The knife must have penetrated her heart, the scissors. She squirmed around, trying to survive. She continued to struggle. Moving around in her own pool of blood like that, it sounds like she's splashing around in sticky water. Is it painful, Sanae? Help! Do you want me to relieve the pain, Sanae? It was apparent that she couldn't hear his softly spoken questions. I'm sorry, but this is as merciful as I can be, considering how much worse you were to your victims. Now you will die in this horrible slaughterhouse. Accept your miserable and painful death alone, Makimura Sanae. It's the least I can do for all the people that you have killed. Sekimoto! She was crying and pleading. Sekimoto brought his mouth close to her ears and whispered, Makimura, show me Blightman's final moments. For this, I need you. So good. Such a big reveal. Sekimoto pulled the scissors out from her chest and stabbed her right in the neck. Fresh blood is pouring from her chest and neck, but it soon slows down when Sanae stops moving completely. Somehow her final expressions seem to be that of a euphoric joy. It's over. Are you alright, Gigi? He sat down weakly beside me. I've been in prison for so long, I haven't really been able to exercise. I'm tired. I looked at him with amazement. Was this your plan all along? What I really wanted... Yeah? Was to take responsibility. He's a good guy, sort of. He's a ruthless good guy. Responsibility? Sekimoto seemed remorseful when he talked with a quiet but heavy voice. The murder I was convicted of was an accident. I was trying to stop a student who wanted to become Blightman. It's the same in this village. My selfish quest for research has sacrificed many people. That's why I took responsibility for it, and I will carry this burden for the rest of my life. Now there won't be any new victims. Maybe I've finally been able to take responsibility with this. Sometime later. A special law enforcement unit, an experimental division located in Town C, Prefecture S, has officially been disbanded. The reason was simple. I was the only one still alive. Everyone's dead. Yay! Officially, it was because the division just wasn't delivering on any of the expected results. There isn't a single official document that clearly states that many people died as a result of the Blightman incident. If word got out that 2 officers died in the line of duty during a single case, some higher-ups are sure to get fired. Even if it did happen in a small rural town with a small, short-lived department. As for me, the sole survivor, Gigi Gab, I was given a promotion in return for my silence. Currently wasting my time at the regional division. Sucks. My days at the regional office are incredibly boring. Not that I want to be in life-threatening situations like that again. All I have to do now is stay safe while driving on my patrol routes around the area and make sure nothing bad happens. Again, don't forget you have a time limit. Alright, I'll remember. I should tell you the rest of the story, but it isn't really that interesting. This is the first time she addresses us, the players. After Sekimoto saved me, he contacted the police and I was rescued and taken to the hospital for emergency treatment. While I was being transferred to the hospital, I lost consciousness, so I wasn't aware of anything, but I later heard that Sanae's tools had been very unsanitary. And of course the knife she stabbed me with was no exception, and they told me I was in danger of getting tetanus. I slept for days, so once I woke up, everything was taken care of. Kuroda had fallen down a cliff in a car. Kazamori died by the hands of Kanaya. Everyone had had their funerals, including the ill-fated Watari, the Takenaka family, and the first discovered victim, Tamura. I wasn't able to attend any of the funerals. Sekimoto Sojiro, the one who saved my life, was taken back to the Tokyo detention house. Because of our troubles moving him the first time, he had been moved by a very strict, top-secret establishment. Oh, To make sure the official guise of a psych evaluation for Sekimoto wasn't broken, the hospital issued a statement that Sekimoto wouldn't eat anymore, and that he had to be sent back. Only a handful of police officers knew what actually happened. Wait here. Thanks. It is a really depressing ending, yeah. I took a day off to come see him because I wanted to say my goodbyes to him. I knew this was going to be my last conversation. I sat in front of a glass window in the interview room, waiting for him. Still wearing the same outfit. Oh, it's you. It's been a while. I stood up and greeted him. I was startled when I heard that you came to visit me. I thought they would have banned you from visiting me. Did someone mention my name before? He just smiled at me and didn't say anything. We don't have time for chit-chat, so why are you here? I heard about the verdict. I think it will be very hard to see you again once you're locked up in a place that's banned to the public. Ah, I see. I didn't hear the specific transfer date. It could be tomorrow, could be in a month. I heard you using the right to remain silent again. Yeah. Why? You could have gotten a sentence reduction if you just explained the whole situation. You saved my life. That would have helped you reduce your sentence. I'm curious. Why didn't you? I wasn't in Town C at the time. Well, officially. So officially, I didn't save you. The authorities, prosecutors, and the entire system of law would be in chaos right now if the truth was revealed. Internal affairs. You know all too well they know about this. But you did save me, and that's a fact. I want to return the favor. I'm just a criminal who managed to avoid capital punishment and imprisonment for life. I think the prosecutor's side already sees that as doing me a favor. I dropped my head. This was wrong, but I couldn't do anything to change it. GG, oh. Comma, that's nothing to be upset about. Do you remember what I told you that day? I had already decided that I'd take responsibility and give up my life for it. Sekimoto looked at me with a gentle expression. He was trying to carry the burden by himself and didn't look like it was ever going to change his mind. Mr. Sekimoto Sojiro. Why are you being polite? Cut that out. Thank you for everything. Well, I bowed to him. That was the only thing I could do. Call me anytime if you're ever in trouble. If there's anything I can get for you. Is there anything you want? I need more manuscript paper. I have to finish my article. The urban legend, blind man's appearance and changes, the mechanisms of propagation in the age of the internet, is what I'll call it. That was a tough one to translate. And, if possible, I'm asking every official who has visited me, but I need you to put some pressure on the Tokyo detention house. Pressure? Yes, I want to ask them if they have more information about, or if anyone knows the truth about the urban legend, the immortal on death row. That's gonna be a little tough for me, since I'm just some cop from a local rural office. I'm sorry. Ooh, he looks kinda evil, though. I know. I just had to try. I won't give up. I'll see if I can persuade any of the prison guards to tell me something. He smiled as he finished talking. It was his brightest smile yet. So he's in prison, but he's still doing research, kinda. He's still doing his urban legend work. Ending! We finished it! So that is Kanaya. The opening scene of the game is Kanaya killing Tamura, as instructed by Sanae. Wait, they didn't translate the names into credit? That's kind of weird, isn't it? I'll tell them about that. They should really do that, because no one can read this. We did it! So we did it in 3 streams. That's shorter than I thought. So the bad ending, do you guys want to know? What happens when you get the bad ending? I'm in the title screen. I don't know if they put me in here as well. This seems like just pre-rendered. Steins Gate, the end, they didn't translate credits either. Okay, so the bad ending is that she actually does, like, take your arms and legs off, but she keeps you alive. And then, like, you're in, like, this state of shock, you don't really know what's going on. And then she puts a mirror right in front of you, so she's forcing you to stare at your own, like, dying body. And then she opens you up, so she forces you to look at your own intestines falling out of your body. That's the bad ending. When I was translating that, I was like, whoa, shit! Really intense. It's kind of like, do you know that movie Audition? I don't know if there is... I don't think we can save the partner at this point. Because I didn't translate any version in which he got saved, so this is the only version that's playable right now. There are, like, bonus chapters, but it's nothing with Blind Man. It's just, like, completely different scenarios in which Kazamori, for example, doesn't die. So, it is correct. In a replay, he doesn't die, but it's just a completely new story. Like, that's not really a new Blind Man ending. This is the Blind Man ending, pretty much. There are slight variations, I think. But I'm not sure. I only translated one version, so... Kazamori. Supernatural path. So what happens in the Japanese version, in the full version of the game with like 7 extra chapters or 8 maybe? Blind Man episode. I got an A! Yay! Ending number 1. So what happens in the full version is that once you clear the game, you can start a new game plus in a way. And what happens in the New Game Plus is that at some point in the story, a new choice unlocks. And, like, you can just see, like, it's new. It probably says, like, new on it. And if you choose that new option, you enter a totally new chapter. Like, the story just goes completely differently. I did one of them. I recorded, actually, a full Japanese playthrough of it. I could still translate it at some point, but the recording is so old, I would probably just want to redo it at this point. Because it's, like, before green screen and everything. But like to name an example, the first extra story that unlocks after this is that it's actually with Misuzu a lot. Misuzu is under like a death mark curse, kinda. She's like she has some kind of curse on her through emails she's getting on her phone, and then screaming. Continuing the gifts update. They got wait. They're one of the 22,000 gift subs to continue this September. Oh, so Screaming now resubbed for $1? There's no notification for it. That's awesome. Thank you, Screaming. What was I saying? So yeah, she's like, there's like this mobile phone curse, and then they kind of like travel around town to try and fix it, pretty much, to try and lift the curse. So it's like totally supernatural. There's like, there's like a ghost that curses people through and kills people through their mobile phones or something. I also know there's one with like dolls, and I heard that one's really good. So I kind of want to get there. I'm just not so sure how I'm going to do it, because I told you guys before, like there's this problem where I either translate it beforehand and then play the translated version, but then me playing it already knows the ending and is spoiled, you know? So if I do that, it saves me lots of editing afterwards. But the problem is that my reactions are not as fun as when I play it blind, you know? Blind, haha. So I'm kind of like thinking maybe I should record all the bonus chapters in the Japanese version first, and then then once I've played through it, it's also easier to translate it because I know the images in the game, and I can translate it with the context of the game that I have. But then that means I also have to edit all of my episodes, and that'll take a lot of time. So there's like, do I translate first, record later, lose the spoiler moments, or do I record first and then edit later, which has better reactions, but it'll give me a ton of editing. So I think I want to record and just do all the editing because I think the reactions will be way more fun if I'm also not sure what'll happen. But yeah, I'll have to think about that. It really just depends on where I am in my life and how much translating is going on. Because translating this game fucking consumed my life. It was all I thought about. Oh, look at that image! It was all I thought about for like 4 months. It was insane, and I was so happy I was finished. Extra available. New episode has been added to side story. Oh. I didn't translate anything. Write a review. No. I'll leave that to you guys. There it says. Translated by Gigi Gab. And there in the corner it's hidden. But if you look there, it's my face in the top right corner. If you click on that, it opens my YouTube channel. So that's really cool. I'm really happy that they did that. It's like really obvious that I'm like connected to this game. Yeah, I think even though like we still found typos, we still found errors, I think I did really improve the original translation. I think the original translation was pretty garbo. It was really bad. I was really frustrated as I went through it. Some stuff was just really, really wrong. Like, stuff like all the lights were off was translated as the lights were still on. Stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? So I think, especially with Bucknari's awesome helps, thank you so much, Bucknari. She also goes through the entire VOD on YouTube. Adventure, thank you, to help me and send me like a complete file with all the notes. So thank you so much, Bucknari. It's really awesome help. So I think once I do that, I either give them the notes or I resend the files. I think the translation is pretty much finished. I think then I can just like move on to either the sequel or the bonus chapters. Let's check out extra. You can play additional episodes. I think they just already translated this. I didn't translate this. But it's just not available yet. It's available in the Korean edition, but... And these are... You can get 9 possible endings. I think because there's like 9... There's probably 9 Liar's Art moments. So each of the Liar's Art, if you fail them, you probably get an ending. We only failed the... Can I click on that? Yeah, the weekly salary. Liar's Art failed. Sanadama got his information. Lost my job at the police station. Blind Man episode complete. So then there's like a couple more endings, but we got through most of them. You can still look at the database. There's one we missed there. Number 9, number 13, number 23. Those probably pop up with different choices that you make in the story. Illustrations. Oh, cool. Can I look at those? I can't like slide through them. This is my favorite. It's so dark and really cool. I wonder why this one says 3-3. Switch to next chapter. Oh, it's 3 pictures. Nice, that's really cool. This is 2. Yeah, creepy. That's pretty cool. Side story. Yeah, these are extra episodes. Wait, Tamara Kotaro. I haven't translated these at all, so I might have missed this completely. Yeah, I have not touched this. Maybe there's extra files that I haven't seen. Fuck. I might have just given myself more work again. I'll skip this for now. I might have to look at that. But I remember they're being quite boring. I'm almost done with the stream. I'll come join you in like a sec. Thank y'all. I'd love to edit it myself, to be honest, but they probably don't want some rando with no experience. It takes a while. I'm still like, this is the only only company that pretty much takes me seriously. For any other company, they don't even respond to my like offers to help them, because they're just like, some amateur girl who thinks she can translate whatever, you know. And I think honestly, I'm really proud of this. This is like a huge achievement for me, and I think I did a good job, even though of course there's still typos and stuff. But I think this is like a really nice, cool thing to look back on, and this company really likes me. We're even like looking at the sequel, and there's gonna be bonus chapters. So I think this is just really cool. Even if I don't get any other job offers for this, it's also not really my main goal. Like, translating this game was fun, and I offered to do it because I already love this game. But like, a company can't just come up to me and be like, hey, here's this like random indie game that's not even horror and we want you to translate it. Like, even if they would pay me for it, I would probably refuse, because I've just created this perfect environment for myself where I can just only translate what I love to translate, if that makes sense. Like, I love playing the games that I play, like all the older horror games, new horror games, and I love playing these Japanese horror games. But honestly, if you would offer me any other type of genre to translate, I would probably say no, because I just love this. Like with Patreon especially, I created this kind of perfect bubble for myself where I can just translate stuff that I'm interested in, if that makes sense. So like, Paika actually also said like we should start a website that offers translation work in general. And I'm just like, I told him I don't want that, because I'm perfectly happy with the way things are now. Like, I want this to stay this way. I love having my streams. I love having my Patreon, doing the stuff for YouTube, and I don't need anything else. Like, for me, this is perfectly good. Let me run some credits, and then I will go sleep soon. And then do nothing tomorrow, I guess, except eat cake and pies. Because it's my birthday. Maybe play some games. That's about it. Ruby, thank you so much for that huge donation. And Falconer, Mandy too. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jawachi, Yuki, Twin, Fox, Lee, Sassy, Spike, and Gom for the bits. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone who followed me today. Thank you so much for the host earlier. And I'm glad you guys liked it. There's lots of Japanese translated horror on my channel, YouTube channel, so be sure to check it out. Falconer, Hale, Reese's, Corporeal, and Adventure, thank you so much for the subs and resubs. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. We are actually still at 612 subscribers, so that's way too high. That's it. Let me think. What day is it? Monday? Tomorrow is also a late stream, same time as today. And I think tomorrow's my birthday stream. So tomorrow is just Overwatch. We're just gonna chill for like an hour or two, I think. Play games with my friends, and that's probably it for tomorrow. And then 2 days after that, I both have indie horror games that I want to check out. So have a great birthday. Yeah, I am 30. Holy shit. Thank you so much, guys, for the good stream. It was really fun. Yes, I will hope I can see you all for tomorrow for Overwatch with my friends. Thank you, guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Good night.